Hello and welcome back to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Ultimate Jam, presented by Order and Fuel TV. We're here for what is the end of our first stage of submissions. It's been a lot of fun, I will be completely honest with you, Renton. Speaking of Renton, by the way, he's joining me again. Robert Monday here, Renton over there. Well, he's actually over there on your guys' screen. How are you feeling about this one, Renton? We're finally going to see the end of it.
Oh, super stoked, Rob. Been so rad so far, and we've got some mad stuff coming today, so definitely looking forward to it.
Of course, we can't go further without thanking our wonderful sponsors, Order, Fuel TV, 7 Plus, and Activision for making this all work. Renton, and of course, what we're talking about in making it all work is the formats that we have to get through. We've got 3 formats throughout all of this competition, throughout the stages that we're going to be seeing. We've got Jam, Combo, and Speed Run. You got a little reader there if you want to have a look and kind of dive into it a little bit deeper, but we generally are kind of talking how much fun we have when we get to see the Jam formats, but we're going to see a fair bit of the Combo today, Renton.
Yeah, man, Combo is super mad. Basically, it's one trick, lots of different factors to it. So you're either in a manual or a grind, flipping in, flipping out. It's one trick. We just want to see the biggest score, and man, it's been insane so far, just seeing how far all these cats just push the limits.
That's a good way of putting it, because the combos, you actually have extended overtime in that format, so you can continue that run if you make it past the 2 minutes, which is just absolutely absurd to think that anyone could really keep up, 1, the pace, and 2, the concentration for longer than 2 minutes on a single run. But what they're playing for, it's kind of important to talk about. The prizes that we're going to be giving away for these incredible format winners. We've got the Puma gift voucher, $500 dues. We then have the independent trucks, and of course, the Birdhouse deck signed by none other than Tony Hawk himself. Really, that is the golden prize here.
Oh, mate, Tony Hawk collector's board. I mean, it's got a signature classic 90s Tony Hawk graphic. I mean, what more could you want, Rob? That's rad.
We really couldn't ask for too much more. Actually, if you have a look behind your shoulder there, Renton, we've got it on display.
Of course we do.
Of course we do. It's already ready to go. But we are too, in fact. We've got 4 combo runs, I should say, that we're going to be smashing on through. We then have 3 jam formats that we need to get and really dissect, give a little bit of an insight as to how that one works. So, without any further ado, we're going to go to a short break, and on the other side, we're going to dive into it. Alright folks, welcome back to the Ultimate Jam. We're going to be diving straight into our first format. We've got a lot to get through today, Renton. We've got a fair few submissions that we need to check out. The first, of course, is that combo format. Now, this is a very unique one, and one that is not an easy skill to master.
Oh man, just laying those tricks together, it's just insanity, isn't it? Just putting so many different variations, combining them into one trick, and man, I can't wait to see what these dudes are going to throw down, to be honest.
Yeah, so we are going to be on school. You've got 2 minutes of the regular time, and then you have a possible 5-minute overtime, which is just absolutely absurd. So let's get into the first run, because we actually have so much to get through. Let's have a look at our first submission from Potato Handle. All right, now, I guess one of the big things that we'll need to talk about, Renton, is definitely the line that they're going to decide to take. And generally, I think we have been seeing them come off of this off of the rooftop, because I feel like it just gives you so much room to move on that first base score.
Yeah, I mean, you get so much air, so much time for just variation in the air. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. I kind of feel like, yeah, he's going to reattempt that one. You can see he kind of just messed up right at the start. Now, if you actually want to try what he just did then, potato handle, I think it's double...
How's that line?
Hit double back and an R1. And I mean, that's an insane base score to start with, Renton. We're talking about 75k without him even starting his manuals and his grinds.
Yeah. Oh, I'm digging this dude's go-to tricks. Like, started off with some 900s, which is always rad. Being a vert skater, I'm a big fan. Oh, man, these tricks are wild.
Yeah, really, really nice. Again, like, just to reiterate for viewers that maybe haven't been checking out so much of what we've been seeing, but just really careful. You need to be able to, mix up between the grinds, the manuals, the wall rides, things like that. Otherwise, you'll balance. Wow, man, he's throwing a lot at us already.
I think this might be the one, man.
You reckon?
It's pretty rad.
Renton's going in already. I mean, at the very least, he's won the style points for you, Renton. I could see the smile on your face.
yeah, no, he's shredding. That's great.
All right, well, it's kind of coming to the end of the regular 2-minute timer. Again, just to remind everyone, we still have a little bit more extra overtime on the side. Now, this is where you kind of see the last-ditch effort, trying to throw in as many possible manual tricks together so that score on the right, Renton, will just increase. Wow. Okay. Hello and welcome, Potato Handle. It's that nearly over 21 mil. That's absolutely insanity on school, Renton. Is that a prelude for what we can expect?
Man, well, it's a great way to start. I mean, that was sick.
I mean, that's probably, I think we've only seen one combo run previously to this, maybe two, and it kind of felt like, there is different ways to approach this, but I would say that was the most innovative we've seen from Potato Handle. He was throwing in a lot of different tricks there. Surely that's gonna be up in the books for you.
Oh man, super styling, backflip tricks to different types of flip tricks, impossibles. Oh man, like that was just full of it. Fantastic.
Let's have a look at Coach Judge now. So now next submission, see what he's got to offer. Looks like he's actually going to be. Is he going to run on a different one? No, okay. He was just. Oh yeah, he is.
I like starting for the roof gap, man.
Yeah. So
360
he's not
triple heel flip.
Okay, so he's actually not going to start from the rooftop, which is where both of our previous school runs have started, Renton. And again, it just helps with that really high base score. So I'm really, really curious to see like where his run is going to start from, and it looks like we've already found it.
I thought that was a 1260, but I think it was just a 900.
Yeah, just a 900. Cool,
just
calm
a cheeky little 900.
Just as easy as it is. So there you go. Already nice little base score to start with, and you can see there's that wall ride that comes right off the manual that gives him insane amount of height, Renton. I mean, minute through, the base score's massive.
Man, these combos are shredding, man. How's that? Well, slowing down a bit.
Yeah, so now he's going to have to pick it up with the manual, and okay, he has a really nice line, Renton. This is looking really clean.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
some sort of backflip to backside 50-50, man. Those tricks are wild.
He actually got two kicks in there. This is, you can see when he starts losing that speed, comes straight back to that little like the ramp that he's taking between the manual and the grind into that wall ride. The wall ride, for those that don't know, pushes you higher. This is...
Wow. So he's got his little line that he's working out.
Yeah, yeah.
He continues, keeps his speed.
This is really nice. And like the consistency as well between the tricks. Alright, he's taken off of our more traditional route for him. So where's he going to go from here? It kind of feels like he's running out of space and time. Oh, 33.
In the ball.
Oh. Alrighty, so that's even more than what we just saw then. 33.9 million, Renton. That's...
Wow, laying it down.
Yeah, and he's taken a completely different approach. Coach Judge has actually not gone to that rooftop that we see so often. He's come straight down into, I would say, the thick of it, down in the schoolyard, if you will. So, I mean, surely that's quite impressive. That's going to be our best run so far on combo.
I would assume so. I mean, I like seeing the different styles, different go-to tricks that these skaters have, man. Different approaches to where they go, how they keep their speed, and yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, Potato seemed like he had a really good handle on what he was looking to do. Coach is just an absolute madman, that's for damn sure. We're going to go to a short break. On the other side, we're going to run through 2 more combo format. Don't go anywhere. Hope you're ready and are holding on to your seats because we still have 2 more of the combo formats, the submissions to get through. So let's just get straight into it. Let's not hold back. Let's dive in because Renton, on the back of what we saw with, Potato Handle and also Coach Judge, I feel like we're starting to get a little bit more now. We're starting to see some similar names, and Zamdog is one of the ones that we were absolutely loving the attire for.
Oh man, I love the steez, man. The purple pants and the purple hair. I mean, if you look good, that's kind of half of it, man. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Man.
That's
loving the rotations.
Yeah, really interesting. Again, this is something that we're probably going to talk about quite a lot in the combo formats, which is how people start their base score. Zamdog, even though he didn't start with as high of a base score as what we've seen from the other 2. Right now, that was a completely different approach in the bowl rather than off the rooftop or, on these quarter pipes here.
Yeah, man, I'm just digging the mixture of flips and like flips of the board and flips of the body, man. Like, I mean, it's a good combination.
Deadly.
Kind of like a bit of a snowboarding crossed with street skating kind of flair.
It's actually a really good way.
Oh man, that's the future, I reckon. Snowboard flips and flipping of the board. That's the craziest stuff ever, in my opinion.
I mean, that's I'm but a mere mortal. I'm not like you, Renton. I cannot flip on a board, but I couldn't imagine that's going to be very easy. So, you're already seeing right now, Zamdog really hasn't moved away from this line. The 2 quarter pipes, making sure he wall jumps, and he's actually keeping his speed so well.
Yeah, man, he's got those go-to tricks down. Wow.
And so the base score you can see is really starting to build here. Now we're getting to the end of that 2-minute regular time, meaning the overtime is going to play a huge effect here if he can keep this run up. The really important thing that he's doing right now is making sure that he's using full effect of the grab tricks on those quarter pipes into the grind. Best way to keep your movement up. So make sure if you are looking at this and you're thinking, how on earth is he doing this? Well, we've just given you a bit of an indication. Oh!
Wow.
How did he keep that?
Overtime. I wonder how long he's going to go for overtime.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's already been 30 seconds over and he's still holding this. Look at the multiplier on the right. Look at the base score on the left. Every time he hits a multiplier from now on, Renton, it's 250,000 points. So this is absolutely absurd.
He's going to town right now.
Jeez Louise, he's not holding back at all. This has to be the highest score we've seen. Not only from, oh my word, 53,500,000. Renton, give me your thoughts on that. That is absolutely crazy.
Oh man, if you get a score like that, it's always better to do it with purple hair and purple pants. That's my opinion.
It's a great style. I will admit that. That is a monstrous score from Zamdog, and I remember seeing him in the jam format and thinking, from a mechanical aspect of the game, he understands how it works really well. His run wasn't complicated at all, Renton. He was literally following that same line, and it was a super basic line. But look at what he's achieved.
Man, that's the routine of the game, just repeating what's working, and man, you see it in his score, and just being able to go so far overtime.
Yeah, and you can see the use of the wall rides and the grinds, the wall push. There is so much to it that you need to kind of master and understand about the lines, and it looks like, everything we just saw from Zamdog there, he has exactly what he needs to. Now, the next person that we got coming up, Bishay, I feel like absolutely nailed the jam, or maybe even the speedrun format it was. He's returning for another submission. Let's have a look at what he's got to offer us in the combo. Surely he's changed his attire here. A Red Bull shirt? Look at it go. Look at it go. Absolutely loving that. What do you reckon? On a Sky, surely like on a scale of 1 to 10 in style, like this is probably my favorite. It looks a lot more chilled, I'll be honest with you.
He's definitely got the chill style, man. That's for sure.
Okay. Alrighty.
I'm digging that, man. Was that some sort of 900 to judo? I'm loving these dream tricks, man. That's what this game's all about. It's doing stuff that it's just completely not possible on a real skateboard. Wow.
Yeah. You can see this is what we saw. I believe it was from Coach Judge using this line, but Coach Judge actually took it to the quarter pipes a little bit closer, more so to where the bowl is on the right of school there, and you can see exactly what Bishay is doing here. He's trying to maximize that base score.
He's definitely got his routine down.
Yeah. Look at it already, man. This is crazy. He is currently nearly at 200k base score, and he's only been a minute into the actual ride itself. Does he keep adding
tricks to that last trick, that last gap? Man, wild.
This is insane. So where we saw, and this is nothing to do with Zamdog, this is all B-shape, but the fact that we're seeing at this point, what's this, nearly 250,000 base score, the multiplier just continues to add and add and add. We're not even into overtime yet. He's going to absolutely slaughter this score. Provided he can hold this. That's the other side, is
so he's in a different zone now.
Yeah, this is what we were seeing from Zamdog, Renton.
Wow.
Yeah, and now is when it's important to get those multipliers up, Renton. Scale of 1 to 10, what's the style actually looking like? Because this is really gnarly, man. 300k base score, and he's not even out of overtime. This is absolutely mental.
Wow.
Oh, Renton, I don't even know. I'm kind of bamboozled at this point.
I wonder if you can customize your skater with a mask, man, in this game. COVID safe, THPS 1 and 2.
not a bad one at all.
Looks like he has got a mask. I don't know, it was just an observation. Man, he's laying it down.
Look at it. That was so close to just bailing out, but he's still holding it. Okay, multiplier 300, base 500,000. Every time he does a trick, it is 500,000 points.
Wow.
Every single time. Kickflip,
wow,
grab trick.
I love that, man. Was that like a 900 or a tail grab 541 foot? Man, that's a dope trick.
Man. Okay, this is just... These are the kind of things we were expecting. Maybe... Honestly, this is what I was expecting in the finals, Renton. I was not expecting this in the stage 1 of our submissions.
Yeah.
This is just...
insanity.
At this point, he's just styling. I think even he's getting bored right now.
At this point, he's just showing off, really.
Wow. Okay. This is absolutely ridiculous. The wall rides, into the grinds. He is incredibly good at getting back on track. Yeah, this
It's
is
some sort of
just-
540 body wrap move, man.
Oh,
Bishay.
he's-
Yeah,
oh my
Bishay.
word. Have a look at that score. Just shy of 210 million.
Surely he's got to stop for dinner.
Renton, before that, our highest score in the combo format was 50 million. He just... Oh my god, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean,
Bishay, laying it down, bro.
yeah, that's insane. 209.8 million was the end score. That's the highest score that we've seen so far in any format, in any submission that we have. I'm kind of feeling a little bit worse for wear for some of these competitors when you see something like that. That's just insane. So Bishay is literally out ahead by 4 times the second person score.
Man, putting the field on notice, man, with that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you saw a run like that, surely you just pack it up and go home. I'm kidding. Don't actually do that. We have plenty more to get to. And the thing is, like, you can now start to watch these runs and get an idea as to how you might want to approach this. Now, I think the lowest score we had on school was about 18.3 million, which is, you know, in its own right, pretty insane. And that's just what the combo run does, Renton. The combo run it's fun, but it is so intense.
Wow, that just proved it.
Certainly did. It certainly did. Well, you know what, Renton? We're just going to kind of wash us off of our own sins from watching that, because that was absolutely insane. And we're going to go to a break. And when we come back, it's a bit of a change of format. We're going to jam. We'll see you in a bit. Come on and slam. Welcome to the jam, the ultimate jam format. It's time to get into it, Renton. We're going into, I would say, our favorite format at the moment. Of course, combo's absolutely insane, but I feel like the limited run that you have for 2 minutes in jam, it puts a little bit more pressure on you.
Oh man, I reckon it's a little bit more creative. I've said it before, I feel like it's a little bit more reflective of how people ride real skateboards. It's just like getting out there, just filming your best run or your best tricks in a certain amount of time. And man, for me, it's the classic. That's what this game's about, personally, for me.
And well, I guess, you know, that's the beautiful thing about this. It's different for everyone. And, well, all the runs have been quite different. Even though we've seen some similar lines, everyone just has a different take on it. And that's the beautiful thing about it all. So we'll go ahead and jump into our first run, because that's just the best way to do it, to have a look and see what they have to offer. Well, if it isn't Little Ugly Kane once more on our screens, Renton, he's got the fingers of fury for you, mate.
Oh, mate, stoked to see how the magic happens. Love it.
Now, talk about the style with me. What do you think about his dress attire?
Well, you know, like in real life, you got to be a certain type of skater to be able to get away with white pants. But he's laying it down so hard. I think he is the sort of dude that can.
It shows all, doesn't it?
Oh man, I mean, it's a little bit of look at me, and competing on a skateboard is all about look at me, check me out, look what I'm doing, I'm laying it down, and that's what he's doing, man. I mean, that's more power to him.
Now, you're going to see on the screen down there, you've got the channel gaps, things like that, the blue text that's coming up over the pipe. These are going to help add to the base score. It's really important that you can get this, and it's why we see so many of the similar lines on these runs. So far, you've got to say, Renton, nice base score, decent multiplier. Just like, look at the way that we're seeing Kane hold the controller right now. I think it's called the claw technique, or at least with the right hand it is.
Claw technique?
Yeah, it's where you've got like I think it's the thumb and the index finger that hit the buttons while you've got your middle finger and your ring finger? Yeah.
I think he's got some black nail polish on those claws there too.
Yeah.
Looking super stylish there.
He's got the style in the game and out of the game. There's no stopping him at the moment. Kane has been an incredible competitor for us. I believe it was Speedrun, if I remember correctly, where we saw Kane pop up as well.
Wow.
And it's just absolutely cruising at the moment. Now, the difference between combo and jam format is the fact that you just have such a limited amount of time. You need as high a base score as you can. Right now, this is absolutely cruising. You've got to be pretty happy with this so far, Renton.
Man, it's great. And I've seen, to be honest, earlier on, I saw a few moves of Christian Asoy moves, Rocket Air, Price Air, which are great tricks, and just some classic old moves in there. So, man, that was great to watch. Looking stylish, and that's what we want to see, I reckon.
Kicked the cone at the very end. Don't know if you saw that. Just booted it. But that's 40.3 million. He wasn't happy.
Mindless destruction, man. It just adds to the overall vibe.
Certainly does. Well, 40.3 million is completely up there in the standings right now. I think sitting second after that run. Little Ugly Kane, jack of all trades, sitting second in the speedrun format and now potentially in the jam format as it stands right now. I think it's Zamdog who holds the highest at 41 million. We'll have a look at all of that, of course, at the end. We won't really talk about it right now, but that's just to give you an idea as to how that run looks. Now, we do have another 2 runs to get through, so don't think we're going to be skimming over the top of these by any means. And I actually believe we have Bishay and his run ready, who we just saw at the end of combo, and
Bishay
insanity. I don't know what to expect here. I'll be honest with you, Renton.
Different clothes, different day. Man, I'd love to start all of my runs like on a real skateboard, smashing through a door. I reckon that's a good way to start things.
I think there's too many doors to be smashed through, Renton, if you was to start every run like that. I know you skate quite a bit, but there's no... I don't think we could afford the doors, let's be honest. So, here we go. Nice base score to start with. Again, going through the secret room actually adds... This guy's
red
cruising.
Grip tape. Is that red grip tape?
Yeah, 100%. And the red hat as well. What do you reckon?
Red grip tape and red... Well, man, that's attention to detail. And, anytime you can make yourself look better like that, it goes far with me personally, I think.
Yeah. Honestly, Renton, the customization is probably my favorite part about the Tony Hawk games, making yourself look like whatever you think you should, the representation of yourself. I know you were roasting me the other day.
Bringing their own individuality to it, it's just like skateboarding, and that's why this game's so rad, because it's just so much like just skating, except you don't get hurt, which is just such a good part of it.
Much better than having to stack when you're in the game versus in real life, that's for sure. But hey, maybe the vibration of the controller, maybe there's something to it there. But base score and multiplier at the moment is absolutely cruising for Bishay. And you know what? I'm just going to say it right now. I really like the line that Bishay is taking, because what's happening is he's going over these channel gaps. It's adding to that base score and to the multiplier, but he's actually rotating back. So from over the secret room, he comes back through it, as you see right now. Instead of going over, back through it, it just continues to add. This is a really nice run from Bishay.
Bishay's got light fingers, man.
Yeah, this guy, he's absolutely cruising at this point. He's got about 4 seconds left. He pulls out a little bit early, and that's completely fine, because 51.9 million has just topped our chart for the jam format. That is 10 mil clear. Bishay, if you're a competitor right now, surely you're trying to find a way to to distract Bishay from when we get into the finals, because he has proven to us that an absolute formidable opponent.
Mate, absolutely lays down the law every time, on every course, in every format. Man, Bishay's got it. He's ripping.
it's good to see some of these competitors as well in different formats, seeing how they approach. Because again, like we said, combo is very different to jam. No matter regardless of whether you want the same kind of score with combo, it's really important that you just continue past that overtime point. Jam, however, is a little bit it's a little bit more niche. You need to get a massive score to start with. Now let's have a look at Coach Judge, see whether he can back it up from combo. It's straight into the jam format here, and I mean you need that whole 2 minutes to start with, and you'll see it's all that wall ride into the acid drop, gives you a nice high kind of approach for grab tricks. That's a really nice base score to start off with.
Looks like he's dressed for winter, I reckon, which is good.
What's your attire?
Oh man, it's winter, so we've got to be wearing some winter clothes.
Well, I got the floodie on, you got the hoodie on, so I guess we'll give it a pass. Hey, we'll give it a pass, Mark.
Oh no, he's got the style, man. I'd be wearing that sort of thing skateboarding.
All right.
Wow.
Now, this is the traditional line that we're used to seeing, and actually he's going to go back through the secret room. No, he's just missed that. Yeah, that is really close from Coach Judge there.
Whoa.
Could have lost that run, but he's actually held that and maintained here, Renton.
Whoa. No, man, he's shredding.
Absolutely killing it.
Lots of late flips.
Yeah, and there we go. That's what he was trying to do before.
Over the secret room.
Yep. This is, I mean, it's good to see that even when you start to mess it up, you can actually bring it back. It's something for everyone to remember, that when things start to go a little haywire, as long as you can hold that manual, get straight back onto a grind, you're on your feet again. The
man, he hasn't stopped, man. Coach Judge is one talented individual.
Yeah,
wow.
And that's it. You can't afford to stop in these formats, because the second you do, you reset your base, you reset your multiplier, and all of a sudden you're in a bit of trouble. 20 seconds left. What are we feeling, Renton? He's going to be able to hold this.
I mean, he's got basically like a part of a combination every second or two a second. I mean, it's got to be hard to keep up that pace, man, but he seems to be doing it.
Yeah, that's it. Actually, by the time he's nearly done, it will almost be a trick, well, 2 tricks every second. That's absolutely
2 tricks that's 61 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were just praising Bichet for his efforts on the 51 million.
Well, he just smoked Bichet. That's pretty intense sort of performance there.
You know what? It's crazy when you come to think about the fact that Coach Judge almost failed as well there. There was a moment where he almost lost that, but very quickly got back in the manual. Now, so looking at the scoreboard, we're looking at Coach Judge at the very top. Those last 3 runs were really quite intense, I'll be completely honest with you. It's good to see. So I misspoke before. It's Xandeth who was holding the highest score on 43 million. Zamdog was just behind him before today. And now it's all completely changed up the runs. I think we started the very first jam format, Renton, with like a 4 million run, I think, by my boomstick, I want to say it was. And I mean, look how far we've come. We were praising Boomstick back then, and it's just continued to go from strength to strength.
I felt like at the start that I'd sort of be able to offer something to this game, and then pretty quickly I realised like that's just completely not the case. So I mean, the whole thing's intense. These guys are just going to town, and wow, hats off to them, I've got to say.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw my boomsticks run, I'm not going to lie, I kind of took my hands off the controller and said, I'm not even going to bother trying. But then we literally have just continued to get better and better scores, to the point where Coach Judge has pulled off 61 million and is leading that. It's absolutely outrageous. Very quickly, can you remember out of all 3 runs we just saw, do you have a favorite for the style? Just style, not talking points-wise.
To be honest, I think it was Xandeth that did a couple of rocket airs and Christ airs, and for me as an old school vert skater, there's some pretty I suppose super styling kind of classic moves, and I mean this game has just gone towards just insane combinations of the most hard tricks, and to me the rocket air and the Christ air, they're kind of tricks that are a little bit more basic, bit mellow, and so when I see them sort of incorporated into these high scoring runs, it kind of gives a bit of a flavour of both sides, the tech side and the styling side, and brings a bit more originality, and I mean, I love the way all these skaters bring their own individual styles to it and their own individual go-to tricks. But that for me was kind of like the highlight. I mean, the highlight is just that most Coach Judge's insane run then. But if I was going to say other stuff, it would be those other moves.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that even if you do have your favorite, kind of tricks, that you do have the ability to swap and change in between the two, whether they're basic or incredibly intense. But you know what? We can just finish up here on the Jam format. What an absolute treat we've had from those submissions. We're going to go to a break, but when we come back, we're going to be breaking it all down, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We are slowly and surely getting to the end of our first stage. The open submissions have come to a close, Renton, and we start to have a bit more of a better idea as to what we can expect in the finals. But today it's actually been absurd considering where we were to where we are now.
I mean, all these skaters up their game. They're bringing their A game, and man, that's exactly what we saw. And I think it's only going to get better as we go into the finals.
Yeah, some records have been absolutely smashed today. There's no doubt about it. We look back to the likes of Bichet on combo. We look back to, Coach Judge in the Jam. And it has actually been kind of crazy how big the scores have been today. But it really has given us a good idea as to where we may kind of end up in these next couple of weeks. And there's only 2 weeks left, so it's perfect. Couple of weeks, 2 weeks. 6 in one, half dozen in the other there, Renton. Anything from today that you've really stuck out in your mind?
I mean, I just love the way it just elevates as we go through each phase of the competition, and that's another thing that to me it just reminds me of skateboarding. Like when you have a skateboard competition, as you go through it, as you go through the qualifying, the semis, and into the finals, it just gets better, and then it just culminates in the final where everyone is just shredding, and that's what we're seeing here, and just seeing all the different approaches. I just love the way this just reminds me of real skateboarding. That for me is the real highlight.
Yeah, there are some very clear indicators as to both. Now, let's have a look at the leaderboard, because this is kind of going to give you a holistic view as to what we could expect from all 3 of the formats moving forward. We look at the top of the Jam format. It's a little bit closer than what we see in the combo format, where Bichet was absolutely absurd, almost blowing everyone out of the water there. But Coach Judge is really doing quite well in the Jam format. Now, there's one thing I have to mention, Renton, and that's in the speed run. Crofty Mate actually held, this is confirmed by my producer, so guess what? If he's wrong, it's all on him. It is the world record, or was the world record for some time. So Crofty Mate has absolutely smashed that out of the water too. And it's really given us a great indicator as to where we're going. However, you can't really forget some of these big moments from some of these other players. We're seeing some common names reoccurring here, Renton.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that Crofty Mate has got a world record is just testament to the level of what's going down in this tournament. I mean, and I mean, just seeing Bichet, like just how hard he's laying it down, and I mean, it's just going. I didn't expect it to be going through the roof so much, to be completely honest.
No, not at all. And it certainly has. It's impressed us. And I'm sure from here on out, it's only going to get more impressive. Speaking of here on out, let's talk about the semi-finals that we're going to be seeing next week, because things start to change a little bit, Renton. We're going to see the top 16 players from each format go into basically a head-on-head battle, and 4 of those from each format will continue through to the grand finals. But let's just quickly bring it back. We've got Jam that will all maps will be changing. So sadly, we don't see Warehouse anymore, that iconic map that we all love so much. That's no longer going to be there. However, Marseille is going to be coming in for combo, which I think you'd be pretty happy with.
Oh man, I mean, that's like the seminal bowl skate spot. I think that's where, this type of skateboarding really developed and came into its own. I mean, man, what a place. On the beach down the south of France, bit sketchy, so it brings in that sort of cultural side of skating. It's, man, it's gonna be rad to watch.
Certainly will be. There'll be lots of, I'm sure there'll be lots of points up for grabs there. Looking back to Bichet's run, I'm really looking to him to prove to us what can be done on Marseille, but Jam format will also be changing. We'll be going to streets, so that will be a really expressive map, right? There might be a couple of lines.
I think you got like cars and stuff in. You got like some outside factors, some outside forces sort of mucking around with the participants in the street, man. So that should bring something a little bit different too.
Yep, you're going to be so careful. Trams, cars, you can get knocked over by both. That would end your run. It would be pretty crazy as well. And the speed run is going to be coming to school. So what we were watching before on the combo run, that's the same map we will then be approaching for speed run, which is going to be really keen. I'm really keen to see how that one plays out. Again, there's a very similar line that most people take, but it will take I would say it's going to take a considerable longer amount than what we saw on Warehouse. Warehouse is pretty snappy, all things considered. So we'll wait and see when we get into the semi-finals and see whether my predictions are right whatsoever, Renton. But that's kind of it, right? Like that's what the semi-finals are going to all be about. Do you have thoughts on what we might start to expect there?
As I said before, I think these guys are just going to get better and better. We're into the with each round they're getting a little bit more experience in the competition, and I think they get a bit of exposure. People are seeing them. I guess they want to sort of show what they can throw down, and I think it all just brings them together to just get better and better and just get bigger scores, get faster speed runs, and I think it's only going up, man.
Yep, it's only going up from here. If you're enjoying what you're watching, you don't currently have the game, guys, please make sure you go and grab it. It's available on all platforms, including Nintendo Switch. It's only just come out on the Nintendo Switch. I'm pretty hyped about that. I know Renton is as well.
Super
we talked
hyped
about it. It's just one of those things, you're going to be able to take it anywhere you go for skating in the future. And of course, if you're just some person that likes to lounge back a little bit more and have some fun, it's the perfect way of doing so. But guys, we're going to start to kind of wrap things up here. We'd like to thank our sponsors so much for helping us out. Of course, Order, Fuel TV, 7 Plus, and Activision have been incredible in bringing this together. This is stage 1, done and dusted, Renton. We are now moving on to the semi-finals. We are going to the big dance in little less than 2 weeks. It's the big game. This is where everything has to be on the line. But Renton, it's been a pleasure to have you on for another episode, man. It's always a joy. But for now, we're going to close out. We will see you next week. So take your time and stay cruisy. We'll see you soon.